when I first moved here 2 years ago, that I could truly hear it calling you.
The culture in New Orleans is something that you can't find anywhere else in the country.
I've traveled to a lot of different places in the last year and a half and realized how different New Orleans is. You enjoy it for what it is while you're gone, but you can't wait to get back home.
Just because it's greater New Orleans, but there are so many different things that the outlying parishes are doing that are just fantastic right now.
We are diversifying our economy, and that's really exciting.
The region is thriving. There's a lot of momentum right now.
I'm from here, and I encourage people who are from New Orleans to go elsewhere and come back.
The super region, honestly, right now with Baton Rouge and New Orleans, I view it as more of a collective partnership.
I look around and I see movers and shakers getting things done, and it's exciting, and I want to be a part of that.
The rising new leadership in this region is entrepreneurial, it is tech savvy, idealistic, and we believe that we can make a change.
We're able to incorporate a lot more global, national, and regional ideas that previously had almost been unwelcomed in our part of the world.
We've gone so far in such a short period of time, it's very easy to just think that this will just carry us through, doing the status quo. Nothing could be further from the truth.
My fear is that we won't be willing to make the sacrifices today that we need in order to have great success going forward.
One of the things that I think drives stagnation and drives status quo is fear.
We're not afraid to ask each other questions, and we're not afraid to challenge each other.
So the folks who came before us, what was their plan? What do they want to see? What was their vision? And making sure that we deliver on that, but also creating our own vision for the future, and really laying the groundwork for those who come behind us.
It's going to be a really exciting thing to be able to see how our generation is really going to be able to shape the region alongside those existing leaders that we have today.
I think the young leaders can't wait for the world to change. We have to take the reins and impact change ourselves.
Because when I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, the context in which we live in today did not exist. The economic opportunities were not there. I don't want my children to ever be faced with that.
Now is a time more than ever that we need to see partnerships between the private companies, the public entities, and the nonprofits.
It takes some chutzpah and to just, get in there and see what you can do to make this situation better.
Well, I think the future of the greater New Orleans region is extremely bright, but I do think we're going to have to earn it.
It's got to be about we and not me.
But most importantly, never stop finding other leaders.
And I think that if given that chance, we'll show that we can hold the load and that we can progress New Orleans to the future that we all want it to be. To just keep dreaming, keep pushing, keep fighting, keep that resiliency about ourselves. Because at the end of the day, we only have one another, and just continue to believe, because this is what we have. New Orleans is our future.
No progress is complete if you are not developing a sustainable way of continuing that progress.
It was seeing the leaders finding hope in the rebirth of the city that inspired me while I was rebuilding my house, rebuilding my career. To the GNO leaders from Katrina to now, thank you.
I think the first word out of my mouth would be thank you.
We appreciate what they've done.
They should have an immense amount of pride in this region and where this region is going.
It was not an easy road that they took. They've succeeded where others have consistently failed.
They've brought us to where we are, and then at the same time, look forward and really push for this process of continuous improvement.
I think we have that fire and the passion to really expedite all these big ideas that they have started.
I hope we can see that we actually raise the bar on that, and that we've set the bar even higher for the generation that comes behind us.
I realize that life is not about me, right? So I often think about not myself, not my generation, but what's going to happen to the generations to follow.
One generation has to plant the trees for the next generation to enjoy the shade.
Single biggest task of a parent is to put your kid in the best possible situation to succeed. Well, I've kind of taken that and applied it to the city as well. Not just my daughter's education, but I also want her to have an environment that she can feel comfortable in, an environment that she can feel that there's truly business opportunities, and she feels safe in. So that's why I do it.
I've got one opportunity, personally, professionally, to leave the community I live in better than I found it.
I think we need to address both the students and older population who want to build skills and really build a stable path for themselves, an economic future for themselves.
I want to be proud. I want to look around the city and be proud of what I see. And I want to know that I left it in a better place for my son and for all the future generation.
Really, I hope that there's a legacy left behind of involvement in the community and really taking what's already in place and building and improving.
That you have people that have been through hurricanes, oil spills, and everything that can be thrown at them, and they're still here. That we're resilient, and not only are we able to be resilient, we're able to prosper with it.
Don't give up. It won't be easy, but we'll get there.
A friend shared with me an old African proverb that said, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Life is not all about you, y'all. It's about creating something that is lasting. It's about creating a legacy.
We have to own this. The reason these changes occurred are largely because of the private sector in New Orleans, the very members that are sitting in this audience right now. Remember that.